to Charleston Animal Society's page titled Adopt, Don't Buy, 6 to 8 million animals end up in shelters every year. Some are killed by euthanization, and some end up in shelters that are cramped and overcrowded. Both are horrible, horrible, horrible. Wouldn't you like to help those poor felines? I hope to make you want to run out the door and adopt a furry friend to warm your home. I want to tell you about a man in Syria that cares for the abandoned house cats of Aleppo, a group of about 150 felines. Rachel Newer, a journalist, reports that when the Syrian civil war broke out in 2011, Mohammed Allah al-Jalil and his family decided to stay behind to help those less fortunate. Every morning, $2.50 worth of butcher scraps is bought by al-Jalil and fed to this colony of cats. Many of them are former house cats and are still very friendly. Children from all over the city come to visit the homeless cats and receive some joy in the midst of a war. Pets are usually considered beloved members of the family, so many Syrian refugees have walked over 300 miles with their dogs or taken kittens aboard rafts to Greece. Obviously, some are left behind and thus become homeless. Close your eyes and imagine for a minute that one day you're sleeping cozily in your bed and the next your entire house is in shambles or just empty. You have nowhere else to go. This happens to Syrian families all the time. We do not live in a war zone, but we still have shelters full of homeless animals that need loving homes. I am affiliated with animal health organizations like the Humane Society and American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. I have spent time studying and observing different topics like the amount of homeless cats in the United States and overpopulation. Felines need warm, loving homes just like dogs. And here are some reasons why. They are loving companions, adopting is less expensive than buying from a breeder, and there are more cats than there are homes that want cats. Cats are wonderful companions for the whole family. They can keep you from ruining your life, just like Bob the cat did for James Bowen of London, England. Linda Morris wrote in Homeless Junkie, whose life was changed by a cat named Bob, for the Sydney Morning Herald, that James Bowen began his life with a rough start. He was bullied as a child for living in Australia with a British accent and never got along with his stepfather. These two things led to drugs. Bowen moved to the United Kingdom to become a rock star at age 18, but he fought with his half-sister's boyfriend and was kicked out of the house. While barely an adult, James Bowen was homeless and a heroin and methadone addict. One day in 2007, Bowen found a malnourished stray with an abscess on his back leg, curled up on a doormat outside a ground floor apartment. He took the cat home, named him Bob from his favorite character on the show Twin Peaks, and paid for antibiotics with all of his saved money. This once homeless, rehabilitated man is now the co-owner of 5 children's books named after Bob and a children's series. According to him, Bob brought structure and love to his life, and that it was no longer about being selfish and his own self-destruction. It was about healing for the both of them. No matter what people say about cats being cold-hearted and perpetually grumpy, they do have a heart. Adopting is a good way to learn this firsthand. Adopting is less expensive than buying from a breeder. Many people do not want adult felines because their lives are coming to an end or are not considered as cute as kittens. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals estimates in pet statistics that there are about 70 million homeless cats in the United States. It is hard to know the precise amount, though. This still means that millions of furry friends are missing out on snuggles and warm beds. Adopt an adult cat and give them love in their last years of life while also creating more room in the shelters for the rest of the strays to be adopted. According to Domestic Animal Overpopulation by Jennifer Sexton and Tom Warhol, pet overpopulation occurs when there are more domestic cats and dogs than there are people who want them as pets. This is currently happening. 70 to 71% of the cats taken to shelters are euthanized. And according to the Humane Society's Pets by Numbers and Animal Shelter Euthanasia by the American Humane, which equals about 4 million cats and dogs euthanized each year, as per domestic animal population and Pets by Numbers. Of these 3 to 4 million animals, Pets by the Numbers also points out that 2.4% are healthy and treatable for whatever they have. This means healthy animals are killed to make room for others like them due to being homeless, not having any identification, or the shelter is overcrowded. Some animals are sick, aggressive, and suffer from mental or physical illnesses, though, and are put down according to the American Humane. Also stated in Animal Shelter Euthanasia, out of all the animals brought to shelters, about 15.8% of dogs are reunited with their owners, while only about 2% of cats are reunited. There are shelters called no-kill shelters that do not euthanize, but they are usually very crowded and even have to turn away animals. Shelters are not that effective in comfortably housing millions of animals, so loving homes are much more desirable. I presented you with some reasons why stray cats need wonderful homes just as much as any other pet does. Felines are loving companions and can save your life. Adoption is a fair amount cheaper than buying from a breeder, and not enough homes want cats. Unfortunately, some animals are left behind by their owners and often face starvation and injury or disease. Adoption makes room for the furry friends left behind, the unloved, and the homeless. What are you waiting for? Go out and adopt or foster a feline from your local shelter right now. You could save a life.
What's the password?
Baptist 2016.
It doesn't stop recording what's in front of it when it goes into that mode, does it?
No, it's recording me right now.
Yay!
Is anything capitalized?
Capital B.
Oh. Hey.